For a split second, we thought the Ravens were going to cover +3. For a split second, we thought that Thursday night game was going to go over 47.5. And it missed by a toe. Isaiah Likely foot was on the line, which, by the way, a very exciting match, a very good game for this first game of the season. Isaiah Likely went off, and I feel bad for fantasy owners because it seems like Isaiah Likely is going to be the guy moving forward. Now, that could be proven wrong by the end of the season, but I don't know. We don't really know how healthy Mark Andrew is. I don't think he is 100%. That's why I think Isaiah Likely had such a monster game that he had. I love Isaiah Likely because Isaiah Likely was on that Coastal Carolina team from, I don't know what year that was. I think it was 2020. It was either 2020 or 2021 with Grayson McCall. Team went undefeated, then they lost in the bowl game to Liberty. I believe that was Malik Willis's Liberty team. Shout out. That's a funny quarterback duo right there. But that was one of my favorite college football teams, maybe ever. That might be the funnest college football team I've ever watched. They went into BYU. They went in there in Utah and beat Zach Wilson BYU team. That was a great game. That was one of my favorite college football games probably ever. I cashed Coastal money line on that. They were monster dogs in that game. I don't know why, but they were monster dogs in that game, and they cashed outright. It was interesting at the time because at the time BYU wasn't a Power 5 school, right? So it was kind of like, how's a group of 5 laying this many points against another undefeated group of 5? It was kind of crazy to me, and we had Coastal money line. They ended up cashing. That's besides the point. That just went on a tangent there on Coastal Carolina 2021, even though that is a great team. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and look at the records and the history books of that team. But I'm making this video because the Ravens look good to me. Like, yes, they lost the game, but they lost the game to the best team in the NFL. And right now, you can look at the betting odds for them to win the AFC. It dropped to 650. That's the best number you can find right now is 650. The Ravens to win the AFC is still the second option, but prior to that game, they were 550. Dropped the whole 100. It dropped the whole $1. That's kind of crazy to me. Because right now, I think you could still make a case they're the second best team in the AFC. The Chiefs did the Chiefs, right? They looked like the best team. They went in there saying we were the best team, and they came out looking like the best team. We got them at plus 370 to win the AFC prior to that game. They're now plus 280. Plus 280 is the best number you can find on the Chiefs to win the AFC. We got plus 370 prior to the season. I made a whole video on why that number was wrong, on why that number would come down, on why you should be betting that number. It's already down. It's only going to go more down as this team keeps winning, as this team keeps pushing for a third repeat. You can tell this team wants that three-peat. This is probably Travis Kelce's last year. This team wants that three-peat. Worthy looked great. I mean, if they got a guy like him that can finally catch the ball, this team's going to be even better because the receiving core last year was probably the biggest weakness of this Chiefs team was the receiving core. Now you add a guy like Worthy. Rice is taking a step forward. This team could be very, very scary moving forward here. Ravens had Derrick Henry, not the best game from Derrick Henry. I think there was a lot of question marks on whether or not how well he was going to perform coming in. Now, I think, yes, the stat sheet, you can look at the stat sheet and say, Derrick Henry, not the best game. But I think he opened up the run game for Lamar even more, which is saying a lot. The fake handoff to Derrick Henry on 3rd and 1 or whatever and him pulling it, or even having the threat to pull it, is going to be ridiculously hard to stop for any defense, especially on 3rd and 1. So that's a pretty bright spot for the Baltimore Ravens. Ultimately, it was an amazing game, especially for Week 1, first game. Amazing game. Isaiah Likely, they lose by a toe. Reminds me of the KD three-pointer. One shot I've heard a lot about back home. Chiefs go in there and win, or they stay home and win. Big one for them. Numbers going to keep coming down. I wouldn't even bet plus 280 unless you have good portfolio other places. Then yes, bet the plus 280, but because they're going to be in the game. I've already made a video about this. They're going to be in the championship game, the Chiefs. Why not bet it? I'm Josh Missy. Thank you.